Hi, my name is Sural Suragul from the University of Georgia. Welcome to my presentation, Dots, Lines, and Screentones, the Manganization and Application of 3D Software in Comic Art. Here is a quick overview of my background. I have been an Associate Professor of Interior Design at the Lamar School of Art, University of Georgia since 2008. I have a bachelor's degree in architecture and a master's degree in interior design. My research interest is using computer software to visualize architecture and art in built environments. Today, I will discuss how advanced technology can be used to create environmental backgrounds in manga and comic books. Before we begin today's presentation, let me introduce the term and history of manga. Manga is a Japanese comic that spans multiple genres from children to adults and is often equated with graphic novels. The history of manga can be traced back to the 8th century when the first illustrated narrative scrolls, emaki, was created. The term manga was first used in 1798 by Shanto Kyoden in Shiki no Yukikai. I'm sure everyone here is familiar with this woodblock print created by Kazushika Hokusai. Still, you may not know that Master Hokusai was one of the people who shaped manga. In 1814, the artist Hokusai used the term manga for his sketchbooks titled Hokusai Manga. As we can see here, his drawings tell story with and without using comic panelings. As previously mentioned, there are many genres of manga. The images we are looking at are excerpts from what is known as shonen mangas or boys' comics. The comics are popular among young male readers. The stories can cover various themes including sports, science fiction, battles, and fantasy. The next genre is known as shoujo manga or girls' comics. The stories primarily cater to young female readers and largely revolve around romance and fantasy themes. The ones on the left are excerpts from Swan telling the story of a young girl who aspires to be a successful ballerina. You may notice that boys' comics often have simpler panel layouts than girls' comics, which use a more dramatic format for storytelling. The last example is children's comics. As the name suggests, the comics in this genre target young children. The excerpts shown here are from the world-famous manga called Doraemon. The comic was first published in 1969 and was my first exposure to manga in the 80s. Since then, manga has played a significant role in my life. Here are some manga productions that inspired me to experiment with this project. In traditional manga production, the leading artist draws the primary characters while assistants handle additional characters, screen tones for textures, and environmental background. The process requires a lot of effort and takes a significant amount of time. In the early 2000s, a company in Japan released a game-changing software called Manga Studio. The software allows manga artists to work on creating manga digitally and more efficiently. It is also possible to perform multiple tasks at the same time. Background drawing plays a significant role in creating a realistic manga. However, it is notoriously tedious. Principal manga artists typically draw only main characters and hire assistants for background drawings. My goal for this project is to investigate if advanced technology can improve and speed up the background drawing process. Technology also provides artists with the freedom to change perspective angles as they please. I aim to broaden the applications of 3D software beyond film and architecture, so I used my architecture skill to transform computer-generated images into manga-style backgrounds for an experiment project. So, is it possible to use advanced technology to create manga backgrounds more efficiently? Before we dive into the digital environmental drawing, let's first discuss my manga creation process. According to multiple how to draw manga books, successful manga creation starts with careful planning. Instead of diving right in, I began with a rough draft called Name. Name plans page layouts, manga panels, character positions, and camera angles. It is similar to storyboards when creating a movie. The next step was the character design. I sketch out the primary and secondary characters from various camera perspectives. The experiment proved to be beneficial in assisting me with creating drawings that included backgrounds. Unfortunately, not all of them made it into the final story. It is now time to explain how I created digital backgrounds. My software of choice is Autodesk 3ds Max. This software is primarily utilized for architectural visualization and gaming purposes. The intuitive interface is simple with 4 different viewports, allowing users to view their creations from various angles: top, front, left, and perspective views. User can easily define the position of the sun, lights, cameras, and materials using cutting-edge technology. This slide displays the camera view from the previous slide's position. Here, I try to match the camera angle of my sketches as much as possible. Next, I imported some extra 3D objects to help me with scaling. This slide shows the result after calculating the lighting, materials, and surface. I utilized the V-Ray Tune functionality, which adds outlines to objects, resulting in a classic inking appearance. The experiment was most challenging when converting color images to ink drawings and screen tones. If you are unfamiliar with screen tones, they are stickers used to add textures and shade to drawings instead of hatching. Highlights can be achieved by scraping off the dots with the back of a cutter knife. I have tried various Photoshop techniques to convert images, but most fail to achieve the look of the ink drawings. After numerous attempts, I discovered the optimal method for creating manga backgrounds in Adobe Photoshop. First, I converted the color picture to black and white. Next, I created a duplicate of the black and white image, which became a new layer. Next, I try adjusting the black and white levels to produce a line drawing. I overlaid the line drawing onto the black and white image. The manga drawing software would later convert the gray areas into dots and screen tones. The next step is to create manga panels by overlaying characters on converted images using Photoshop, my preferred sketching program. On the left, there is a primary drawing. On the right, you can see the finished work. Despite advanced technology, many manga artists still prefer traditional creation methods. Manga artists from the new generation are now embracing the digital approach, which I am interested in exploring. The drawing software I use to create my manga is Clip Studio Paint, and this is the program's interface. Clip Studio Paint has been around for more than 20 years. The earliest version was first released in Japan. The first international release was called Manga Studio 3. The company then changed the name to Clip Studio Paint. Users can experience a new manga creation with excellent drawing and painting tools. I imported the sketches and panel into Clip Studio Paint for the final inking and production. My manga backgrounds were converted into manga-styled images using this software. The gray areas of the pictures were replaced with screen tone dots. I refer to this procedure as Manganization. Let me provide a quick guide on how to read a manga properly. My manga's format follows the Japanese reading style, starting from right to left. The manga I have created doesn't have a title, dialogue, or sound effects. I will show one page at a time. There are 16 pages total, and here we go. My presentation is now complete. Thank you for taking the time to attend.